Sam Pitroda, the chairman of the Indian Overseas Congress and a close aide of Rahul Gandhi, stirred the hornet's nest on Monday by downplaying threats from China and claiming that the communist-run country is not our enemy. Big update coming in right now, Republic TV viewers. And this is coming in as we keep getting you back-to-back updates. Sam Pitroda, chairman of Indian Overseas Congress and a close aide of Rahul Gandhi, stirs the hornet's nest by downplaying threats from China and claiming that the communist-run country is not our enemy. Now, this is coming in, viewers, as we keep getting you back-to-back updates. Sam Pitroda says there's no need to consider China as an enemy, and this is coming at the backdrop of Sam Pitroda going ahead and downplaying threat from China and saying that China is not our enemy. Now, this is coming in, viewers, as we saw earlier that Rahul Gandhi had praised China multiple times. I want to go ahead and play the exact statement of Sam Pitroda.
I don't know what is the threat from China. I think there is always this thing blown out of at times proportion, because US has the habit of defining an enemy. I think time has come for all of us to really network nations and not have confrontation. Our attitude is that of confrontation from day one. And that attitude creates enemy, and that creates certain support in the country. I think we need to change that pattern. To assume that China is the enemy from day one, it's just not fair, not just to China, but to anybody. Okay. I think it is time for us to learn to increase communication, collaborate, cooperate, and co-create, and not have this command and control mindset. China is around, China is growing. You got to recognize that, respect that. And every other country is going to grow. Okay. Some will grow faster, some will go slower. Those who are very poor has to grow faster. Those who are well accomplished, developed, they will have slower growth. Those who are developed also will have aging population. And those who are developing will have young population. So you got to look at all of these things together.
Senior Executive Editor Abhishek Kapoor joining us on the phone line. Abhishek, Sam Pitroda once again, with his controversial comment, is downplaying threats from China, claiming that China is not our enemy. And this is coming right after Congress leader has expressed his admiration for China and his saying similar statements, praising China on multiple occasions. Abhishek, if you could take our viewers through these latest details we're getting for our viewers.
Well, absolutely. And Shivangi, Uncle Sam refuses to stop giving to the Congress party and its narrative building. And remember, this can be damaging in the sense that the Congress has been under fire for signing an MOU with the Communist Party of China, the CCP, and Rahul Gandhi. We saw him in those pictures. And this is incorrigible. Sam Pitroda, remember from the time that he said "Jo hua so hua" for the 1984 riots, to stirring the inheritance tax controversy during elections, to now, and then of course during the elections itself, again firing the South Indians look like African salvo. He many times damages the Congress party more than helping, but then despite the fact that all this has happened, he continues to be an integral part of the Rahul Gandhi team insofar as advising to him is concerned, and that gets reflected perhaps in the kind of positions he takes. But to be calling for collaboration and cooperation with China and given the fact that the way China has conducted itself with India in the last few years, particularly during the COVID years, and post Galwan. I think this clearly shows a case of very skewed, misplaced understanding of China. Sam Pitroda perhaps getting old and not realizing where the wind is blowing. Remember, every nation in the world, even if they have not had a direct military clash with China, like we have in Ladakh, we have had in Ladakh, they are also thinking of shifting supply chains, supply lines away from China. They are talking about friendshoring. They are talking about China plus one strategy. And for Sam Pitroda to be, going against the tide and against the wind and suggesting that China is not a threat, when every person who understands geopolitics, who understands geoeconomics and strategy is of the view that China is the next biggest threat to every nation that has some semblance of stature in the world. So I think this is for the Congress party to really explain, is this their formal position because of that MOU which was signed by Rahul Gandhi with the Communist Party of China, and did, for example, Sam Pitroda play some role in it because he seems to be defending that?
Right, Abhishek. And also, if you could take our viewers once more, Abhishek, through the comments that have come in earlier from Rahul Gandhi, because this is something we have seen again and again from Rahul Gandhi. He has made these comments in the past. If you could take our viewers through all these details coming in. And Sam Pitroda, of course, is a repeat offender. He has made these controversial comments again and again.
Well, yes. So as I mentioned, from the time that he made that Jo Hua So Hua comment when he was asked about 1984 violence, one-sided violence that targeted the Sikh community post the assassination of Indira Gandhi, or in the last elections, week after week, he would fire salvos that would present his mind and understanding, but ultimately would not help the Congress party. And the examples of which I gave, where he said that something like an inheritance tax is not a bad idea. Again, a throwback to the socialist era. And ironical that Sam Pitroda, who lives in the United States, has benefited from capitalism, runs a software company, to be, harking back to the socialist era policies. And then, of course, the way he showed his understanding of India, saying that people in the Northeast look like Chinese and the people in South look like Africans, and people in the North and West look like Afghans. I think that also in many ways is how the Congress party really sees India, and that's how the opposition had really, not the opposition, that's how the BJP ecosystem and the right-wing ecosystem had really picked it up, Shivangi. And it seems that with this kind of comment now coming in from Pitroda, being his usual outspoken self, but absolutely inconsiderate insofar as what has happened between India and China over the last few years, the manner in which we really had to fend off China militarily with the millions spent on that military mobilization. I think Sam Pitroda, and again on the Constitution, when he made some comments on the Constitution, where he said that Jawaharlal Nehru had a greater role in Constitution making than B.R. Ambedkar. I mean, that was a big controversy, and Sam Pitroda refuses to, take positions which really do not reflect reality on the ground, be it on the Constitution, be it on 1984 riots, be it on China in this instance.
All right, Abhishek Kapoor getting us the top updates coming in right now here, Republic TV. Sam Pitroda once again makes a controversial comment and has stirred the hornet's nest by downplaying threats from China and claiming that the communist-run country is not our enemy, following in the footsteps of Rahul Gandhi. I'm going to go ahead and play out that statement of Sam Pitroda once again for our viewers.
I don't know what is the threat from China. I think there is always this thing blown out of, at times, proportion, because US has the habit of defining an enemy. I think time has come for all of us to really network nations and not have confrontation. Our attitude is that of confrontation from day one. And that attitude creates enemy. And that creates certain support in the country, I think we need to change that pattern. You know, to assume that China is the enemy from day one, it's just not fair, not just to China, but to anybody. Okay. I think it is time for us to learn to increase communication, collaborate, cooperate, and co-create, and not have this command and control mindset. China is around, China is growing. You got to recognize that, respect that. And every other country is going to grow. Okay. Some will grow faster, some will go slower. Those who are very poor has to grow faster. Those who are well accomplished, developed, they will have slower growth. Those who are developed also will have aging population. And those who are developing will have young population. So you got to look at all of these things together.